we put out on the trades we put out on the Forex and the Signal channel, on the Forex and crypto channel, we had a blast. Let me show you what I mean. Quite a blast. In the Forex channel, we had 12 trades, 12 signals dropped. Loss is just one, like only one trade was lost. And you can see the gross loss minus 1%, gross profit is plus 38%. So net PNL is plus 37%. And if you use the crypto S, if you use our calculator to calculate your risk, you're risking $10, that is 370, risking 20, that is 740, risking 100, that is 3700. So this is an amazing week in the crypto space we had last week. But it wasn't only in crypto. In Forex, we did the same thing. So if you check out our FS channel, let's check it out. We had 39 trades. That is the number of calls we gave this last week. You can see everything. You can see it by day. At the end of that particular end of last week, loss, like we had like the lowest loss we're having in a week, minus 225 pips. Gross profit is 1,473.2 pips. Net profit is 1,248 pips. You can see them in lot dollars. If you're risking 0.1 lots, that is 124. 0.02 is 249, and 1 pip is 12,000. So we had last week was the other week was 7. The week before was 4 something. The other one was 6 something, and this week we had 12,000. So this been an amazing week. Okay, you can see Fitness Journey said I took some and it was quite profitable, but I feel bad that I made Casper trade. Yeah, but if you take all our trades, this is how amazing it is, and we want to aim to have a similar trading, a similar success. Last week, I didn't take it. I don't take it, and I did not take any losing trade last week. It was amazing. So let's get to the charts. Let's get to the charts and see what happened and how we are dealing with today. Let's get to the chart. So you can see here it's so we're going to start our analysis from the beginning. Okay, these are some of the trades that was taken. Bitcoin, it was amazing. If you guys attended my live, okay, on Discord, I gave this call. It was just amazing. After we had this clearance here, then we had this just go. I wanted to take a second entry, that's why I dropped this one. But from here, from this point, let me clear this. So this is actually the trade here. And this is the last TP actually. I can see we went all the way, 5.7. Euro USD was amazing. This is one trade. This is another one here. GU, okay, GU is a trade I didn't take. USD, I didn't take this one. GBP, this is the last trade I took here. So I'm going to clear all this. So we'll get into the full analysis again. Now, this is a quick question and answer. So you ask, if I want to start Forex trading, do I have to download an app for it? It's simple. Now, I believe you are in the crypto group. Okay. We drop links to join the Forex group there in the crypto group. So when you get the link, just follow the process. You're going to the first place you go to is a website where it will ask you some questions to know if you can qualify to take a Forex signals. The question includes very simple questions. If you have a smartphone, if you had the phone to take the signals and all that stuff. Then when you are in, before you are in, I have videos to walk you exactly how to set up your account and how to take the signals. It's about 15 minutes, right? It will show you how to create, okay, before it walk you through how to create the account. Or to take the signals, I explained how to um I explained in that video. In that video, I explained how to the type of signals we give. I explained it there, how to take them, how to stop your accounts is there. The more what you need to download is explained, how to even calculate the risk using the FS crypto calculator. So this calculator that I have here, so this calculator I have here, I explain how to set up your account, how to use calculator to calculate your risk before taking a trade. So everything is explained. All you need to do is just to um, pass through the process. As simple as that, and you're good. Okay. Okay. So let's just get into today's trades, today analysis. We're going to start again the way we do it from the weekly time frame. I think I'm going to just clear these things because these are trades that I've already taken. And I'm going to leave this one because this trade I'm in right now. So let's go straight to the weekly time frame. Why are your students making all this profit, not commenting on your post? And you always said we okay. This guy is asking why the students are not commenting. There's nothing for me to think about. If you want to see the profit made, go to the Telegram post. Go to the, what do you call it? Go to our Telegram crypto community and look at it. It's not hidden. It is clear for you to see there. It's not hidden there. Go to that place and see the signal taken and verify it. It's as simple as that. So if you're being skeptic and if you expect me to prove anything to you, I'm not proving anything to you, go there and see it for yourself. And what I always say something. I actually said this thing. I said in okay, let me not just repeat myself here. But if you want to see our results, go there. We disable comments even in the Telegram community because of the amount of scammers we have that are scamming people within the group. When we had a Telegram, what they call it, a Telegram group. So it's now channel, comments are not allowed, but you can see the results there. I think this guy is just a skeptic, but who needs more proof? If you want proof, go and get the proof from that place. Okay, so let's look at the charts. So from the analysis we had so far, I think nothing has changed with regards to our weekly range. Let me go back here. So Euro USD, this gap is still here, but we're not bothered about this gap, right? So this is what I am seeing on this time frame. So my weekly range is still between this point and this particular point. Okay. So now let's go to the daily time frame and see if we can make sense of all these things. So from here, we see that we had a break of structure here. And of course, when we have a break of structure to the upside, you should break of structure to the upside, we should expect a pull down and continuation. This is what I mean. This is the break of structure here. So when we have a BOS, I can see here upward, downward, upward. So we expect a drawdown to continue. So that is where we are with regards to this. At a breakout structure here, we expect a pull down to this point, then we'll continue. Okay. And so that is still the time frame. And in the movement downwards, we are seeing this is the upward movement that broke structure. And this is the downward movement that is coming. But you can see that, of course, there will be internal or lower time frame um, price action to get to this point. And we can see it go again. So this is basically what we are looking forward to on Euro USD. With that, let's go down straight to the 4 hours. I want to go back to the daily and see, look what you gain. Is there anything changed? Okay, if you look at the daily, we have everything is filled here. We have efficient price action at the top here. Let me just confirm that. Okay, so this one is filled actually. That is filled. All these are efficient. So we're going to go down now to the 4 hours. So what am I expecting from the 4 hours? Okay, so this is what I expected. We have equal lows here, and you always see me say that equal lows are liquidity. Okay, now we had this drawdown, and the trade we had to the upside was from here. That's the trade we had to the upside. And from here, I expect a tap in for us to go down. But what you have to know again is this. Um, this movement upwards was caused by news. So if you watch last week news, the CPI news should suggest that we're going upwards. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh this particular region again to see if there's no news today. We're going to trade purely price action today, but the macros suggest that we're going to go up. Therefore, I'm still going to mark out some points above. So here we have efficient price action above here. Then over here, what do we have? We have an order block, okay? Because we have a fair value gap here. So because we have that here, then above here as well, we have an order block. Okay. Now, so this is my 4 hour supply zone. This is also a 4 hour supply zone. If you watch this, if from here I expect a pull down here, from this particular point. But if you watch this, let me take the Fibonacci again. Okay, but sorry about that. Okay, now I expect a drop down from this particular point, but because of the news, we might see that change. Therefore, what can I do? It means that in this particular trade, I have to now wait for a confirmation entry, right? I'll tell you why when we zoom in again. So I'm going to go down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay. So now this is the 1 hour time frame. We had an entry here, and here it's expected that we see this go down from here. Okay, go down from here to attack this liquidity here. But what we are seeing is this: we are seeing this zone attacked once. Of course, this is a new candle, and we are seeing it being attacked again, even though we had a rejection from this particular point. Now, this suggests that this might be the it being attacked a second time suggests that okay, this might actually go up. Therefore, to take an entry here, we need to wait for more confirmation. Okay, if this fails, then we can now start looking for entries both here. All right. So if you look above, you still see more supply zone. Like this one is a supply zone, but it's a supply zone that I I don't think we can see it hold. Over here is relative liquidity. So what I would like to see here is a confirmation entry at this point now to go lower. What do I mean? A confirmation entry. Confirmation entry is like this. I want to see it to take it down. And I've told you the reason why we need to wait for it. We need to wait to see it here. So let's go down to the 15 minutes now. 15 minutes time frame to now make sense of it. Okay. So um we had here a tap in. Then we didn't really break down, had a second tap in. And this tapping now, this is the whole of this is more like consolidation. We can still go down from here, but the whole of this thing is like more like a consolidation. So what I'll be waiting for is this. This is what I'll be waiting for. If I had a break, this is the last low that led to this break. But at the same time, this is coming from the news. So the news help us to push this higher. So therefore, I will be waiting for this. Okay, so if we have a break downwards, like we now have if this thing comes down and breaks this low, then I want to look for an entry around here to take this lower to this point. So therefore, so what I'm saying is that to take this trade, I just have to be more patient to see if I will have a break lower for this particular trade. Unless it breaks up. If we see it break above this particular zone, then my other trade will be to this particular point. This would be a very small trade to take it to this point. This would be my first target, and this would then be the second target. So it is more like there's no like this is the trade to take right now. We have to wait for confirmations before we take this particular trade. The reason is I'm going to explain again. Let me remove this. So let me remove this and also shift this to the side. Okay, I'm going to remove it. I'll bring it back. So the reason is from here, from this high to this high, like this, we have just been ranging. Okay, we haven't broken any structure, so we need to be out of this particular range to now decide where it's going. If you're out of this range to the downside, in fact to this zone, then we can trade lower. If you're out of this zone, like lower, then I can look for opportunities to trade lower. Okay, if I'm out of this zone, then I can look for opportunity to trade it to this point, to this particular point. So trade on Euro USD, I think I can go ahead and even set an alert on this. So I'm alerted when these things happen. So that is EU. GU will give us a similar thing, a similar stuff. I will just go ahead and clear this, remove the drawings. Okay, and we're going to start from the weekly time frame. So EU and JU usually does similar thing. We just have to wait for the one that aligns better, and that's the trade that we take. The same thing we have here. We have this is the weekly. We have a fair value gap that needs to be filled over here. But however, if you look here, this is the high. It's the high. And this is the low. So this will be my weekly range, meaning that I can expect a movement upward to this point or a movement upward to this point. That's what I just mean by the weekly range. With this, we go down to the daily time frame. So what do we have? We have we are actually in the daily. We are here into an efficient zone. You can see it here. Then down here we have an order block on the daily time frame. Okay. Over here we have a break of structure here this way. Again, you know what I said about break of structure. If we break structure to the upside, we want a retracement to go higher. That's what I said. That is what we should expect. Now we have a break of structure. We want the movement downwards. Okay, but of course it's going to take weeks to happen. Now, in the short term, we have an equal low here. This same place an equal low. I'm going to just change this to liquidity. It's our target, but it's also liquidity. So when you see liquidity, it means that the market will eventually find its way to that particular point to take it out. On the daily too, we are inside an efficient range. Okay. If you watch above here, we still have a block. We still have a supply zone over here, which I'm going to refine later. But now we can start zooming in. Now, all these things are efficient price actions. Okay. This is an internal structure break. This is an internal structure break at this point. And from here, um, we have taken cool from here and we're actually coming down. So this is a point we could attack at this particular point. It's a point we can aim for. And above here, we can see that we have another other block at this particular point. Okay, so following what we've been doing, we can expect now. The problem is that we should expect this and this and this. All right, but what I'm seeing here is that we have not had this break to say that this is going to come down here. So for today, all I'm just looking for now today is not on the weekly, is we're taking this high, this high, this high, and this low. So our trade today is going to look for opportunities to trade within this particular point to know what is the direction of the market in this particular point. But what the higher time frame is telling us that okay, we can go lower to break structure properly and to come up, because over here we are inside an efficient range, at least on the daily. With this in mind, I can now go down to the 4 hours time frame to make more sense of it. Okay, so on the 4 hour, um, this region I was seeing as efficient, as inefficient. You can see they're all having an efficient price action here. Let me just go down one bit. I'm gonna call this. I'm calling it a daily supply zone. 4 hours, it looks pretty all efficient. And what I'm seeing here on the 4 hours is this block here, which is giving a gap here. So I just feel that this needs to be traded into. So let's go lower to the 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour time frame, we can even refine this to be this point. Okay, to be at this point. And here we see that we had an internal break of structure at this point. You can see the break of structure at this point. Okay. Then over here, we are operating. These are all efficient. So we have an order block at this point. Okay. Which we are tapping into. And we have another one at this point. We have another one at this particular point. So the possibilities are this. One is that from this point we react and we go lower to this point. The second possibility is that we go higher to this point. And okay, I want to show you guys something. If you check over here, this is another like equal highs, relatively equal highs. Hope you're following along in case the chart start looking a lot more messier. And we have here a fair value gap at this point. So this is another region where we can see this tap into. So therefore, to take this particular trade from here, I just want to say a confirmation entry to take it lower from here. If you watch, This the crazy movement upward. This is the movement downwards. So which one broke the structure? It was actually this zone. Is this supply here that led to this the break of structure here? So I will expect that we react from this particular one. This one you see here. That is one I expect that will react from. So what do I wait for? I think I want to see a confirmation entry inside of this zone. What do I call a confirmation entry? Is this simply this? It's simply something like this. A confirmation entry is what I want to see inside this particular zone. And where we look for it is on the lower time frame. So I'm saying 15 minutes, even up to the 5 minutes is where we start looking for it. So you see here that um, inside this chart, we are actually in we are now in an efficient zone within here. This is looking efficient. Okay. And here, what can we see? We can actually see that confirmation entry here. So have a movement. Um, we have, let me show you again. So have this, a movement upwards. Okay. And this now led to a break here. And we're headed back to that particular zone. So this is somewhat a confirmation entry. So this will be a trade. From this point, from this position, target the high. First TP is going to be this point, a 3.7. Second TP is going to be this position, a 6.7. So this is a trade. Again, for the high time frame, we expect this market to go down to this particular point, and from here we can see that confirmation entry. We tap into this zone. We broke down here, and even though the second leg didn't happen here, we broke down here, so we're expecting a movement downwards. A full point to this place is 6 points. And this is the first take profit here, a 3.56. Second take profit 6.66. Because over here, this is our breakout structure. So that is our BOS, and that's the trade. Okay. Let me do one more confirmation. Okay, so let's go to Euro USD. Euro USD, I'm going to clear all this manually actually. So let's go back to the weekly time frame. Excuse me. Okay, so today's question is, good morning, or please, are we paying money in order to enter the VIP trading room? Because I saw it in our Telegram room, but so we are not there. Nobody is paying money to enter a VIP trading group. You're not paying money to anybody. So if he sits in that group, he's not maybe in the wrong group. To be clear, all you need, and we don't have like a VIP trading group. What we have is a Forex trading channel. The crypto trading channel right now, you can enter it immediately. It's open, but the Forex is private. All you need to do is to fund your account. You're not paying money to anybody. I will not call it VIP. We'll call it the Forex, the FX channel. So be warned or be aware if you are in any group saying that, because it's not said in my own group. So back to um, GJ, UJ rather. Let me delete some of these things. That was the old weekly range. It's been quite some time I traded this. Okay. So what do we have? What do we have here? I don't want to be concerned what is happening here, because all we're interested in this in what is happening here. Okay. Now we are entering an efficient range, or we are already in an efficient range. So what I would do, because here I'm not seeing any break of structure, I'm just seeing a movement this way. Okay. So what I would do is just scale down to the daily time frame and see if I can make sense of what's happening with UJ. Now, if you look at this, I think this some analysis I did some time ago. Here we have an order block, got 4 hours, but I'm moving into daily. Okay, a daily demand zone. We have it here. And what do we have again? Over here, we are entering an efficient zone, and above it, we have another daily supply zone. We have another daily supply zone. All right. So we may likely just trade all the way up to this point. At the same time, we may trade down, because right here, what are we having here? We're having a break of structure. It's internal at this point. We have this break of structure into an efficient zone. So what I've been expecting is a retracement down, a retracement down to this particular point to fill this gap, this big gap we had. We've not had that yet. We just did we did we are trying to break into this efficient zone. Okay, so we did this, it came down and we're breaking up. Now, if you look at this, this is the last high we have here. Okay, mind you, this is on the daily. If we break above this high, then if you break above this high, then I'll be expecting a retracement to this point to go higher. At that time, I'm no longer looking at this gap we have here. We might still come up to this point and still come down later to fill this gap. At this time, it's what I'll be expecting if we break higher to this particular point. So what I'm now looking at for my trading is I'll be looking at this high. This is the high that we need to attack. So I'm forming my range. This is the high to attack, and below it, this is the low again. So I'm just looking for opportunities to trade in this region, right? That's where I'm looking for in this region. That's where I'm looking for opportunities to trade. So we go down to the 4 hours to start making sense of some things. So over here in the 4 hours, we had um, a break here, and this break, in fact, we have another break here. So I think I'll just be considering this break now. But this is still an internal break. Okay. Before we start reversing, I want to see another break upward to attack this particular region. That is what I'm looking forward to see. Now, if that happens, then I can start drawing. I can start drawing out all these demand zone we have here as potential targets to the downside. So this is 1 hour, going down to the 1 hour. Going down to the 1 hour. Um, hmm, on the 1 hour, we are in this zone. So from here, we're in this particular zone, and this zone is efficient. When we enter an efficient zone, it simply just shows that okay, nothing is holding this actually. Nothing is holding this, so we should see a more movement upward to the downside. We have a clearance. This clearance didn't take this supply, so you can see that all these regions are just quite it's efficient, and we're moving efficiently to this zone. So what do we trade is a question. I'm going to go much lower to 15 minutes. It's really not clear. So what I'm looking at now, because I see this particular high as where to attack, okay? And I see that we had a break or structure at this point here, okay? So my trade idea would be to go higher, meaning that on the 15 minutes, we have possible potential. One is this one here, where we currently are, okay? The second one is this point, where we have this last, but I'm going to just cover it up to the low. So the possible trades are one, we trade from here, okay, to go higher. but this is strong. It's going to clear it. So therefore, I'll prefer a confirmation here to go higher. The second trade is this particular trade, long position from this point, okay, to target this particular high. But what you're seeing is that this is 3.0 risk to reward ratio, which is fine, okay, because I don't trade if it's less than 3. But what I we also want to see here when we get here is to see a confirmation entry, okay. Now, if we see a confirmation entry, it's going to give us, and we want to trade up to this point, it's going to give us a much higher risk reward ratio. So this movement is going to be giving like maybe a 6, maybe 6.5 x instead of just a 3 risk reward ratio. So rather wait for an entry here, a confirmation entry here to take this higher. Now, if you've been following me, you know that most of my trades in Forex are EU, which is Euro USD. This is where I don't know, I'm mostly right because it can be analysis can not always be right. Sometimes you make losses. As a matter of fact, I keep saying that if you just make if you win only half of your trades, you can be very, very profitable in trades. So far as each of your win is is so far as like each time you win at least 2 times. And when you lose like one part. When you win, you win like at least 2 times. So at least that 2 times um covers up, right? It's more like you're winning. It's not 3 times. I'm not taking it. Maybe if it's like 2.9, I can take it, but I generally aim for 3 times. So I think I talked about this trade on one of those days we had on Discord, and you can see it played out beautifully here. And from the high time frame analysis, I'm looking for a confirmation entry here for us to be able to go down. I'm looking for a confirmation entry here. But let's start from the higher time frame again and analyze down. So I'm going to remove some of this. We will come back to it. Because we're going to get into crypto real soon. Liquidity taking. So let's start from the weekly again from GJ. Okay. So from Japanese yen, we've been breaking structures to the upside. Okay. Here we have an order block at this point. You can see that on the weekly. Okay. But if you look at the general market movements, we've been breaking to the upside. So I will expect that we also break this one since we're going high. But generally, sometimes the market reacts from another block, even though it's still going to be broken. All right. So this is a point of interest. I don't need to actually mark it since we are on a really high time frame. So what I will do here is to draw the top. Is because we have been breaking the structures to the upside. So I'm going to draw the top as a potential target. Okay, as a target. Okay, and we're currently here. And I'm going to draw this bottom, this one here, the bottom of this last swing. Yeah. So I can actually disregard this one, this particular ones, and disregard them for now. Um, so my trading, I'm looking for opportunities to trade around this point. So let's go to the daily and start making sense of what we have. Okay, so this is a region I expect us to come back to, but from the way it's looking, we're not expecting to come down to this region this week, and we are so bullish that um, we can start looking at attacking these regions. I don't know if you get me. So what I mean is this: we had a significant break of structure that led to this particular movement into this efficient zone. This is actually another block from here. From here, we let into this and we drop down. My expectation that we drop down to this point, feel this gap we have here. Let me see, you know what I'm saying. So my expectation was that we'll drop down to this point, feel this gap here, and move higher. But this is the expectation. We react based on what the market is saying and not what we wanted to do, basically. So, but you can see it started coming down. I made my massive profit from here, came down, but didn't feel this gap, and it looks bullish, really bullish upwards. So again, from here to here is the range I'm expecting to trade. From here to here, actually, but this is the high I can look forward to right now. So drop down to the 4 hours. Let's start looking for opportunities during the 4 hours. I'm just going to close a lot of these lines I've drawn here, so we can draw them. We draw the ones that are relevant to the trade we want to take. Okay, so looking at this, we've been having a good movement upwards, I would say. Movement took down from here, move here. We're having good movement upward here, and this particular demand we are here, we've attacked it 1, 2, 3, 4, but it seems we are rejecting it each time we attack this particular zone. So is it going to hold or is it not going to hold? Now, if you look here, down here, I'm not seeing on the 4 hours, you can see that this movement here, all these ones here, they are all efficient. I'm not seeing any other block or fair value gap anywhere. They're all closed. And we are now attacking this particular demand zone. So I'm actually pull through. Okay, so the last other block I'm seeing is this one. This is this one. This green candle, but I want to take it to the down here. And there's a gap here. So this is the last thing I'm seeing here. Okay, so possible movement is to attack this zone and maybe break to this high. But we have to confirm it by going to the one by going to the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, what do we have? I still want to look for opportunities lower. So here, efficiency all through. The last inefficiency we have is this one here. Is this one here? Let me cover the low. I want to cover the whole of that low. Okay, this is a 1 hour demand zone. 1 hour demand zone. And if you look here, um, if I'm meant to refine this, I can refine this up to this particular point. This becomes a 1 hour demand zone as well. Okay, so how do we go from here? If we look from this way, like this, we had a break of structure here. Okay, so I'm not gonna It was broken by this one, retraced, move higher. This is another break of structure here. Okay, and so all these things are wicks and rejection. So generally, what I'm expecting is this. I'm expecting a movement here to go higher. It's okay if I aim for it for this high, but like I said, we can actually go higher. So, but in the meantime, I can just aim for this high. This is a safe zone to aim for. Another movement is that will come down to this particular point and move high. All right. So we're on the 1 hour, right? I will be looking for a confirmation for each of them. To trade into any of them, I'll be looking for a confirmation. What do I mean? It's what I mean. Um, what I mean is that I'll be looking for a confirmation entry on the lower time frame to take a higher position from here. At the same time, I'm also looking for a confirmation entry to take a higher position from here. Now, why am I looking for this? Especially for this one. You can see that this movement upward here, this one you see here, didn't lead to any break of structure. Okay, so that is why it's important that we look for a confirmation. This one, it's easier to take a risk entry. The reason is why is that you see this movement from here, it did break structure here. This is the break of structure it gave us. But this one did not give us any break of structure. It's just this price action. So therefore, it is easier for me to say, let's take a risk entry from this point, even without waiting for confirmation, um, and attack this zone. Okay, this is a trade I would take. This is a risk entry. It's a trade I would take without waiting for confirmation. But for here, but for here, this is a confirmation I would like to see because there's no break of structure at this particular point. Now, we can actually trade this. This is 1 hour actually. So let me call this back to 1 hour, back to 1 hour. I'll be ending this live in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, we'll end the live. So I just want to label this. This is my 1 hour demand zone. And this is also a 1 hour demand zone. A 1 hour demand zone. What else do we have? Okay, 15 minutes now. 15 minutes. So what am I looking for in 15 minutes? I'll tell you. So we want to take a trade from here or here. Okay. But today's trade might just be taking a trade from around here to this point. That might just be today's trade. That is why you see me back to here on the 1 hour again, on the 15 minutes rather. So here we don't have any break or structure to this side. Okay. So this low is like you're seeing here, this particular you see here right now, it didn't lead to any break or structure. So the last low, even this low didn't lead to any break or structure here. But this is a low I will consider this one. This is low I'll be looking at. So I'm going to remove this. Okay. So what do I mean? Means that if you break below this, I can look for positions to enter here. All right. I'm going to go down even lower to the 5 minutes time frame. For the 5 minutes, it's really simple. We're looking at this. I want to consider this angle and this one here. I'm interested in what happens when we break out of this zone. Again, this is a 5 minutes, okay? I'm interested in what will happen when we break out of this zone. Breaking out will determine if I go lower. So breaking out of this zone, I want to start looking for opportunities to trade to here. Okay, this is where I said we should look for a confirmation. This is my first entry. But if we break through here, then this will be the place, the zone where I look for a second entry. So what I'm looking for today is opportunities to trade this lower if it's going to go lower. But I cannot just take this trade because if the whole of this place is still a consolidation. So I have to wait to see a breakdown. If you see a breakdown, it tells okay we're going lower. If it's a break up, then we know that we're going higher, and all these ones down here might not actually be valid. So that is that. We just have 10 minutes to go. Let's go to cryptocurrencies. So this is Bitcoin trade. It was a good trading week for Bitcoin. So we're going to just do the same thing, and I'm going to start from the daily for Bitcoin. I'll analyze to their swing trade. So Bitcoin has been bullish. We are heading again to attack that all-time high. There was a drop down. This was the liquidation we have, dropping down into this daily demand. And we're now going back up to attack those highs. What a break here, a sweep down, a drop down to this zone. And right now, the price action is going to attack this high again. Okay, so let's look for trading opportunities within this zone. So I'm just going to remove this. So this one. This one is taken already, so we don't need it anymore. These are the ones that we took the last time. So what do we have? So here, again, drop down. Over here, this is the last high. And you can see Bitcoin is attacking this particular high. We don't have a break of structure yet. It's just attacking this high. And if you look below, we have a zone here, zone of demand. So possibilities are that we shoot high here and we draw down to this point, then we're going to attack this particular zone again. This will be a textbook play if we see this. Again, break, drop down, and attack here. So we can find opportunities to trade lower and find opportunity to trade higher. Now, for those who are new watching me now, again, the reason why I mark this zone is because of this gap we have here. This gap is waiting to be filled. That is the reason I drew that over there. Okay, possible move. Break of structure, drop down into this order block, take order, move higher, and we're now moving high. Okay, but to take this trade, we'll have to make sure that this is broken. So that said, we'll now move down to the 4-hour time frame. So I want to call this a daily because I marked it because you won't see anything here. 4 hours, I think I want to refine. No, I'm going to leave this the way it is. I'm just going to call it a daily demand zone. We won't call it daily demand zone. So this gives me a broad picture of what to expect. Okay. Now, if you look here, we are seeing that this is inside this zone. Okay. And on the 4 hours, we're having some, on the 4 hours, this is an efficient zone. Now, the last pull higher is, I'm going to take the whole of this. Okay, now this is the green candle I'm looking at, but I just want to cover the black candle. So I don't think that is the that candle I'm looking at. If you look here again, what do we have from this black candle? We have, I'm going to take it down. We have another zone here. So these are demand zone. Why do we mark it out? Is there possible places of pullback? Okay, because from where we are, we can actually make a pullback to here or here and go higher before even making this general pullback. Right now, we can mark out internal structures. So let's look at this. So we have this drop down here, upward movement. So now start having structures like this, like this. So when we start going up, we're breaking those structures. We're broken this one, went lower, came, we made equal highs here. So we've broken this particular one. So here, this is the last structure that we've broken, this particular one here. Okay, so therefore I can actually mark it as this side and call it a POS. Now the question is, this is the zone. This is actually the zone. This particular zone is what broke this structure, and it seems to be going to break this one. Okay, so therefore, if this is broken and we had a retracement, this is the first place I'll be considering to go higher actually from. If they start retracing, even from here, okay, this is the zone I'll be looking at because it is the zone that led to this broken structure. It's the zone I'll be looking at to go higher from instead of this one. Is when we start breaking down, start taking all these ones out, that is when I'll start considering this one. Hope what I said makes sense to you. So now let's go to 1 hour to make more sense of what we have here. So we can refine this to here, and I can call this now. I can legit call this a 1 hour demand zone. Okay. So this is going to be a very good trade. What is the target? So what do I expect again? This is what I'm expecting. A move down here and an upward movement. As simple as that. Move downwards, upward movement. So if we place a limit order, we can actually go long from here. From this point, even targeting this particular high is already a 3x. So this is a trade I'll be looking to take. I'll be looking forward to. Now on the 15 minutes now. Okay, since this zone still holds even on the 15 minutes. This is one I'll be looking forward to take it trade if we start having lockdown. But all trades I'll be looking to take it higher to this zone. So that's what I'll be looking forward to now, knowing that okay, this is where I want to enter from. I can now start going to 15 minutes or 5 minutes to look for when we're now start having break. So what I did is I start marking the last swing. This is the last swing. You can see here. I start marking these zones and just stop waiting. Are we going to break this? When we break it, I'll start looking for opportunity to go down. It's as simple as that. Okay. Again, this might not work. We might still see, if we still see, if we still see like we did this, and move higher, what do? I just simply move my stop like this. If we still see this, I'll do like this. I'll simply move my this to this, just waiting for when we're going to break it. When we break it, this will be my opportunity to come down here. This I caught a very wonderful trade on I think it should be GJ, either GJ or UD. Let me see. A very big massive trade just by following the same thing. Let me see if I can get that trade for you guys to see at the rest of my chart. We got that from this last. Okay, like this movement here is where we caught that trade from, because I was looking for a breakdown. Okay, 15 minutes now. I mean, it was only 15 minutes. So the same thing we look forward to, we found it here. So from here, we keep on looking for, okay, when am I going to break? First, I had this stuff here. I was looking for it to, when it breaks down, and I'll start taking it down. I moved it here. It didn't break. I moved it here. Okay. You can see that this is when it broke to the downside. And where is the other block that broke it? This particular one. Can I took it all the way high? And I was actually looking forward to, filling this gap that we have here. I thought this was going to fill it. But this was a very, very good trade from short position from here all the way to this zone. Okay, you can see this is a 12x trade. You can see the chart got here because I'm just looking for when it's going to break down. So the same thing applies to, is what I'll be looking forward to here to trade to this particular zone. So I can even go lower to like 5 minutes and start looking for those opportunities, because from technical analysis we need a retracement to keep going higher. So once we see that break, we can look for opportunity to trade it lower. So right now I'm looking at this particular zone to be broken to the downside. um, when it's broken, it becomes my opportunities to trade down to this zone, and from there we trade back up to where we are. So I think this is the analysis we have for today. I can go and do Ethereum and the rest, but the time is already 8, so we're going to end this here. Those on Discord as usual, we'll see you. Those on Discord as usual, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll analyze the whole of this week. And again, if you're not taking our signals, I don't know why you aren't. I want to show you the result we had, and you can verify it if you're taking our signals. Okay, this is for Forex channel, 39 trades given. Okay, 39 trades given, um, minus 225 loss, plus 1,497 profit, gross profit and net profit. You can see the amounts made with the lot sizes. Now, we even drop a poll here. If I click on profit, to see about 58% of our traders were in profit. These are people that took most of the trades. 23% were in drawdown. Maybe they didn't take some of the trade, or they didn't follow the risk management, or they didn't just close when we say close and all that. And 19% breaking. So I say most people were actually very profitable taking the trades. Those that took all the trades. So in the crypto channel, we had also an amazing run. An amazing run. So it was amazing week, and we expect to do the same thing this particular week. So use the link in the description, get on there, or see you in the groups, or see you on Discord. Bye for now. I see you, Chima Frank.